editor-in-chief of print of the Crier and the ads and business executive. And the Crier is Kaneland High School's student news magazine.
So Audrey, talk about what that role editor-in-chief means and what you do here on a regular basis.
So to be editor-in-chief of print means to kind of be the leader of everything that goes into our print cycle, which is determining the theme of the issue, the stories, assigning who will write what stories, and basically just kind of guiding it along until it's in its final form and ready to be distributed to students and teachers and staff.
If I was a freshman and I wanted to be the editor-in-chief someday, how would I go about doing that?
Well, you'd start by taking Journalism 1, and then you'd have to stick with it into Journalism 2 and then Journalism 3. To be an executive, which that's what the editor-in-chief is you have to wait until your third year to be that. We get a lot of opportunities to do things that a normal class wouldn't be able to do, such as we go to conferences. We go to the Illinois Journalism Education Association's annual fall conference. We also go to the Northern Illinois Scholastic Press Association's spring conference, and there we get to take all these different classes with real professionals and learn new skills. And then a really cool opportunity that me and another executive got was to go to the Democratic National Convention this past fall, and we got full press credentials that other news people had, and we got to report at it, and it was really cool.
Hi, I'm Carly. I'm the Crier's social media executive here. So I run the Crier's Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and I oversee all of our social media use.
So what does that look like from a social media perspective? Because that's kind of an evolving piece of not just the Crier, but society in general. How has that changed over time, and what do you focus in on in that role?
Yeah. So basically, I took over social media with Audrey, actually, who's our current editor-in-chief, during my Journalism 2 year, which was last year. So we took over the Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and we basically our Instagram is more like photo stories with events and things that are going on here at Kaneland. So we have some great photographers on our staff who go out and take photos of those events, and then we write the captions and post that. So our Instagram has grown a lot over the past few years. We actually recently, a couple months ago, we hit 1,000 followers on that, which was awesome.
That's pretty exciting, yeah. Way more than I have, by the way.
But yeah, so we try to just share everything that's going on at Kaneland, because we're a news publication. So I want to major in communications, and then I think it'd be super cool to work with schools like social media teams and stuff. I'm really interested in using social media as a news source because it's obviously evolving and everyone's on it. The Crier is not just writing. Journalism isn't always just writing. You can take whatever you're interested in, if it's social media, if it's cartooning, if it's taking photos, and you can cater it to what you want to do. And Mr. Bruno, our advisor, is great at encouraging that too. So.
Hi, my name is Dominic Bruno. So I am the advisor of the Kaneland Krier, the journalism program at Kaneland. And I also teach a few different English classes and coach basketball.
Mr. Bruno, can you just give us an overview of what happens here at the Crier and why it's such a special program in Kaneland?
Of course. So it is one of the only student-run classes that we have in this building. So, and then by that third year, students have to interview for positions, leadership positions. They get interviewed by their predecessors, the ones who are graduating the program, slotted into new positions, and then they become the ones who run the program with me as their advisor. So it really just gradually, it's sort of like a gradual release, me as teacher and then me as advisor by the time they're done.
And can you tell me a little bit about some of the success that we've had recently?
Yeah, of course. So when people sign up for Journalism 1, they oftentimes don't know that journalism is also competitive. So it's not just here making the Crier, which is really important, but it's also competing against other journalism programs throughout Illinois. So last year, for example, we finished first in our sectional. So sectional competition is just like we have in sports, where you face other schools. In the world of journalism, we're all in one class, so it's not like it is in basketball and football. We compete against everybody. So we got first place in our sectional competition last year, qualified the most students we've ever had to go down to the state competition, and then as a team, we finished fifth in the state, which is our highest ever finish. And then we've also gotten first place in the Illinois Journalism Education Association for the past 4 years. We also have a website, kanelandkrier.com, that we update every single day. That's where a lot of the daily news stories show up. A lot of our interactive aspects to the Crier are on there. We also have regular broadcasts. So across the hall from my classroom, we have a broadcast studio where we do some of our podcasting and broadcasting. So I have a weekly sports broadcast right now, and then a regular, like bi-weekly radio news podcast. The collaborative environment of the class is so different than anything else I've ever taught. It becomes family-oriented in the sense that we go through struggles together, we go through the stress of deadlines, we go through pressure, and then we just create something that's really, really cool and really impactful that represents the voice of students. And that's a really important thing to protect, and it just keeps them coming to class inspired, motivated every day, because it gives them an outlet, a platform in a lot of different ways to share what's important to them.